Hello everybody, I'm Jennifer. I'm going to be talking about Niche Academy. So I'm just going to if I can type it properly. I'm just going to go to our site. So Niche Academy, NBDPL has really been pleased to launch this about a month ago. Niche Academy is a tool that helps promote the library's digital collection and digital literacy training to patrons and staff. And it's available for, always available, one-to-one instruction. So I'm going to talk about how it can be used for patron training, how it can be used to promote digital services, and how it can be used for staff training. From the patron experience, NBDPL first launched Niche Academy with the intent of using it to help promote our digital collection, our digital resources, and to provide that patron training. There are two ways that we can access it, that NBDPL has implemented it. One is the side slider and one is the carousel. So the side slider NBDPL has put in on the right-hand side. It's a toolbar that we've put in on every page of our website. Libraries do have the option of customizing this for pages, for each individual page. We just decided for maximum visibility, we wanted to have it everywhere. So when you click on the link, it gives you access to all of our digital services. And then when you click further into it, so if I click into Ancestry, it's going to give me an introductory video, information on how to get started, and any sort of specific tutorials for that resource. When I go into the introduction, there's a short video. The video is usually about a minute long, give or take a few seconds. And there's also the text to the video and screenshots. Patrons can also customize the size of this to make it run. So depending on whether they want to watch the video or read and have the screenshots and follow along, this is helpful for Hoopla and Library to Go and RB Digital, where people are having to access the apps. And there's app-specific information. So, for example, when I go to Library to Go, there's the general introduction on how to use Library to Go, and then specifics on if you've got an Apple, how would you access the Libby app. So this is sort of an easy way for people to get access to it. Niche Academy also has carousels that you can add, and again, you can customize the carousels for each page. So for example, we've got the carousels that just have the list of the different resources. We can click here to watch the introductory video. We can go directly to the tutorials, or we can go directly to the resource. When you're using Niche Academy, either on the carousels or on the side slider, the link is directly to the library's resource. So this is, we prefer this as opposed to, say, when we embed YouTube videos. Because if you embed a YouTube video, patrons are sent to YouTube, where they watch the video and then other videos and then cat videos, and they forget that they wanted ebooks. So this way they can get cat videos in myriad other ways, but we'll keep them on the library's website. Quick note, we do have it on our library's website. We don't have it on BiblioCommons. BiblioCommons won't allow Niche Academy until they complete a third-party security audit. So we've let Niche Academy know that is a potential barrier that they might want to be looking into. So anyways, there are also, on the back-end side, I'm not going to show you the back-end. I'm happy to talk about any part of this off-site or afterwards. You can schedule social media on the back end, so you can send links to these tutorials. So it's sort of another way to keep the content fresh, where again, in the social media link, you're saying, hey, we've got Libby, why don't you use it? Here's a link to the video, and it will go directly to the resource. So it's a way sort of like directly get people there. Niche Academy also allows us to create our own content. So from a patron side, there are a number of libraries who have maker spaces, for example, where patrons need to have learned how to use the makerspace before they're allowed to set sail by themselves. And that is useful if you've got one-to-one, but it can also be a barrier if patrons have to wait until there is a course that they can take. So a number of libraries are using Niche Academy to create those courses and create that certification so that the library and the patrons can be accessing and getting the certification off-site and then coming down. So for example, Virl is looking to use Niche Academy for their self-publishing in Nanaimo, so that patrons in Port Hardy and off-site, or not in Nanaimo, can learn about the self-publishing. How do I use this? What's involved? So that when they actually make the trip down to Nanaimo, they actually know what to do, and they can just present the certification to the staff and they can say, good, on you, go. So again, optimizing the time and providing that expectation that patrons are available. NBDPL is also looking at how we can be doing that, but we haven't. We're just baby users. We're just learning about this, so it's fun. There's also, in addition to the public Niche Academy portal, there's also a staff academy where patrons, or where staff can log in and get training. So the training for the digital services there is both the same material that is available for the public, but there's also additional enhanced content that staff would need to know, where it's asking staff about how you might use it, and that you can have quizzes and questions and sorry, losing my mind. Where it's sort of like take this and extrapolate. So instead of with the patron side, it's going to walk you step by step. The staff side, it's going to ask you to try it, so you can be experiencing that. Libraries can also create staff tutorials. So one of the things that I'm doing right now is going and talking to the different stakeholder groups within our library, our management team, our branch coordinators, our CERT supervisors, to see how we could use Niche Academy for training, if it's onboarding, if it's putting tips and tricks about how to use Horizon, how to use different pieces. So when we're doing onboarding for staff, if somebody is coming to us who has used Horizon before as an auxiliary at a number of other libraries, perhaps we don't have to spend the same number of hours training them on how to use Horizon as we would somebody who was brand new. So if we were able to say, here's a quiz, do the quiz, and then we know exactly how to target our training and be more effective. The content in Niche Academy for all of the digital services, like the digital resources that we pay, Niche Academy updates those for the most part. Sometimes there's a bit of a lag. But when there's new content, when there's a new platform, Niche Academy will update that content for us. When it's other content that we're creating, we can update that. Libraries also have the option to share information and share content that they've created. So if we create content, we can say, no, we're just going to have it for NBDPL, but we also have the option to say, no, we're going to let anybody have access to it, and which is great. So for example, Allen County Public Library in the States has created a whole series of occupational health and safety videos and training videos, slips and falls and tornadoes and emergency protocols. And so libraries can take those tutorials so NBDPL can say, okay, we're going to take that slips, trips, and falls that Allen County Public Library has created, and we're going to either use it as is, or we're going to modify it. So with any tutorial that you get from another library, you've got the option to modify it and create it and target it. So if it had something specifically about US laws or was omitting something about BC laws, we could add a section or a tutorial or a quiz at any sort. There are usage stats available. There are learning stats available. You can go directly to what the learner's results for their quiz were. You can just see in general how much people are accessing it. Our hope is, as we launched, as I said, we launched it originally as the digital services promotional tool. So we're hoping that we'll see an increase in our digital services as a result of increased access. But the ability to have the staff training and promotion, digital services promotion, is also appealing. That's pretty much all I have to say. I'm happy to talk about it afterwards. I'm kind of excited by it. Thank you.